inspired you to do that, make that comeback?
You gotta have balls to the walls, but you gotta be a little crazy too. And when I'd go home at night, I'd look in the mirror and I'd go in my bathroom, look in the mirror. My head's stiff as a board. I got screws in my skull, and I just look in the mirror and say, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" And bang my heart, say, "You're doing it. You're doing this," and that's how it's going down. You're doing this, or you're gonna die trying. That's the bottom line.
And I remember you telling me at the time, you said, "I'd rather be dead. If I couldn't box, I'd rather be
Yeah.
dead." And
Yeah.
that's a heavy statement to make.
Yeah, it really is. And to be honest with you, I said it one time in front of my mother, and she just started crying. She started bawling. She just started going, "Vinny, don't talk like that." I'll never forget. Once again, I was going, "You idiot! Don't talk to your mother like that. Don't. That's the lady who brought you in this world. She loves you. Don't talk to her like that."
So you had some of your greatest fights after the injury. But how
Yeah.
nervous were you? Was it always in the back of your mind? Like, how did you proceed after that?
Once I fought Luis Santana at my comeback fight. Right after I broke my neck, I fought Luis Santana, who was a good fighter, but no big deal. But it was. I didn't know how big a deal it would have or could have been in the fight right after I broke my neck. But I beat him. He hit me with some good shots. Then I knew I was back.
Yeah. So once you got through that first fight, you
Yeah.
felt confident.
Yeah.
And then, of course, talk about the great Duran fights. You talk a little bit about it up there. You beating him twice. Just talk about those nights.
Duran, there's nobody. He was unbelievable. I used to watch him when I was a kid. I love Muhammad Ali is what made me be a fighter, and Roberto Duran is what made me be a mean fighter, because he was a mean dude, man, badass, and I took a little bit of his style into the ring, and then when they ever told me you might fight him, I was like, what? One thing I do remember about the fight, he hit me so hard. I was like, no way. This guy can't be in his 40s hitting me like that. When you're a kid, when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, you think somebody in their 40s or 50s is they're an old man. But that old man, that old man hit hard.
Yeah. We brought the best out of
Yeah.
people. And people geared up to fight you. Why do you think that was?
Because they knew they were going to be in for a war, and they got ready. They got ready for me more than anybody. They got ready for. They raised themselves up so high they were never the same again. Never. All the guys. Hector Camacho. He was a bad dude. He was fast as lightning. After he fought me, boom, he went right down because they got so high, so juiced up, so like ready for me that's it. Once that fight was over, they collapsed. It's kind of a compliment, but but it kind of sucks. Yeah.
I was there for both of your wins over Haugen. I was there for your win over Deli.
Douchebag. Haugen.
What do you consider? What's the greatest win in your career? I've seen a bunch of them.
I loved the Dele fight. He was 30-0, undefeated in 30 fights. He wasn't like some people didn't know, but I saw a lot of his fights, and he was a bad dude, and he was knocking people out, and that was the greatest fight of my life. I got ready for him more and better than anybody. I've ever fought.
And also in front of your hometown.
And that, yeah. And he thought he was coming down because I'm gonna wipe this little white boy out. You know what I mean? He probably won't even make 5 rounds with me, but he found out wasn't like that, and you know that was one of the great fights of my career.
And how important was it fighting in front of your hometown fans? Because yeah, I remember getting to town for that Deli fight. Dele, how do you spell his name? Dele.
Deli.
Deli.
Yeah, that's what I was calling him. Gilbert, your name's Gilbert Dele. I would say to him, say, where did it Gilbert Dele? No, pal. No, it's not. That's not what. That's how you call it. I call it Gilbert Dele. Like I was the Rhode Island. I was the Rhode Island Red Sox. Yeah, I was the Rhode Island Celtics. Yeah, it was cool. It was a great feeling, and I worked hard. I worked my ass off to make the people happy and proud to see me fight, proud to see me win. It was cool. At my, you know, out of 60 fights and I fought a lot of champions. I fought almost every guy who was in the top 10 or a world champion. And I gave it all. I gave it all I got. Gave it all I got. Couldn't do much more than I did, and that's it. I retired with 50 wins, 10 losses, 30 knockouts, 5 different world titles. I mean, a little white boy from Cranston. I did all right. It could have been much worse. I could have had no wins, 60 defeats, and I could have got knocked out 30 times.
So right before the third Haugen fight, how great was that week for you to beat him that third time?
It was on NBC in the afternoon. Back then, there's only 3 channels. You gotta watch me. There's only 3 channels on. What do you? Like it was either channel 12, 10, or 6. You had to see me. And I wanted to beat that kid so bad, and I beat his ass. And why I hate him is I beat him in the first fight. I came back and I won the 13th, 14th, and 15th rounds. I won those 3 rounds. Sick as a dog as I was in the morning. I won those 3 rounds. So he thinks he won that fight. So we go and we fight, rematch in Atlantic City. Okay, I couldn't make the goddamn weight. It was killing me to make the weight. So, but I finally made it, 135, and then the next day when I'm walking to the ring to fight him, and I said, Paz, man, you're not gonna win this fight, but just don't get killed. Just don't get killed. You'll live to fight another day. Just don't get killed. Don't die. And literally, so I lose the fight. Couldn't make the weight. Now I go up to 140, which was no big deal at all. So now I'm fighting Roger Mayweather. He was a bad dude. I thought I was gonna knock him out like crazy because I was a sparring partner for Rocky Lockridge. They took me to Italy when they fought him. Rocky Lockridge fought Mayweather and knocked him the F out, laid him out. So Rocky couldn't touch me. I used to spar with him. I used to go easy on him at times. I didn't want to hurt him, and because he was with the Duvers, he was with Main Events, and he hit me, smack, no big deal. It was like nothing. So now I think I'm gonna kill Roger Mayweather. So I let my weight go a little bit, and I got on and off the scale 3 times. Finally make weight. I'm walking to the ring and I'm going, oh my God. But I got my ass kicked, and then finally I hook up with Kevin Rooney. I spar with his best middleweight. Beat his ass, and we were supposed to go 6 rounds. We went 4 rounds because he got out of the ring, the kid. I go hit the bags, jump rope, do sit-ups, do some push-ups. I get on the scale, puts it on the scale, puts it on 165. I step on the scale, boom! It almost breaks the scale. I was so overweight, and after that, I think I weighed out at one like 69, 170, some like crazy figure for fighting at 154. So I moved up in weight right away, and it was good. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
You and Duran were the only 2 guys, I don't know if still are, but to win a lightweight title and a middleweight title.
At the time, to me, it was quite amazing. I got so lucky to do that and go up so high. Not many people do it at all. And I don't even check either. I could give a shit, but yeah, it was quite an accomplishment.
Vinny, thank you, man. Appreciate you coming by. Always great to see you.